Everyone, welcome to Peepo Coin channel. Hopefully, if you're new to the channel, you'll subscribe by the end of this video. As a result of the tariff discussions, we have just seen a market collapse during the past 24 hours. We were now aware that this would occur. Because of the impending tariff announcements, we were aware that Sunday would not be the ideal day for the markets. Tariffs were also a topic of much discussion. There are also numerous significant updates, and I do believe that this will probably go on until the market opening tomorrow, of course. Now, since we've been hearing about Black Monday, the main thing I'm really watching is how the market will respond. It is going to be the most catastrophic crash since Black Monday. Since it seems so clear that the markets are going to crash, I'm really placing a wager on the opposite outcome. Perhaps I'm mistaken. However, when we take a close look at the markets and the negative indications, we find that everything is extremely gloomy. As we take a closer look at the market's price movement, I also believe that Bitcoin has fallen below $80,000 once more, currently trading at roughly $78.60. This is how Bitcoin has looked over the past year. All we're doing is circling around the lows from early March, and even those from February. This is creating a great deal of anxiety because once more we are losing important patterns. The past lows are vanishing. When we take another look at this 1 year later, we see that even XRP just lost the $2 support zone. This is a huge thing because it's on the weekly. Now, I did mention before that we might reach between $1.60 and $1.90. This disparity in fair value is significant. In the end, I'm kind of looking at XRP on Bitcoin between 160 and 180, between 74,000 and 74K. It is about between 74,000 and 70K, just a thorough retesting of the chart's earlier highs. However, aside from that, several old currencies, like as HBAR, have been extremely bearish due to their total downward trend, which has seen them nearly lose support zones and significant trends. Naturally, the reason for this is that Bitcoin is selling off at a time when its dominance is at an all-time high. The main thing I'm examining right now is how volatile this market has been. It has been quite a crimson year. The month is a bright red. It's basically a sea of crimson all throughout the week. Additionally, it makes it clear that retail is probably in a panic right now. And I do believe that's very evident when we take a close look at the Fear and Greed Index. We've reached severe heights now. Extreme levels of terror have not been observed since 2022. As a result, everyone is terrified. Once more, Bitcoin is trading at 78K, XRP is trading at $190, and even HBAR is still trading at roughly 14 cents. It seems like an exaggerated response. I posted on X stating that tariff notifications should be made on Sundays when the stock market is closed. Traditional. There is a lot of market manipulation going on. As markets fell down into the weekly close, Jim Cramer just flipped peak bearish for tomorrow. I believe it's time to stop and think rationally. The current climate is one of tremendous anxiety and pessimism. Either the bottom or anything around it is visible to us, and I do think this is true. We are either at the bottom or very near it, in my opinion. Furthermore, I do believe that the markets will recover when we least expect it. Jim Cramer has been telling us that the mainstream media has been telling us that the big banks are now claiming the big R word, aka recession. So what better day to genuinely recover than Monday, when everyone is anticipating this Black Monday-style crash? They predict that this year will see a recession. It has increased by more than 30 to 50% on some banks, such as Goldman Sachs. Indeed, it seems as though we are attempting to shake things out in the most dramatic manner I have ever witnessed. I'll say this even though it doesn't feel exactly like COVID. King Solomon put things into perspective in a post that I saw. He recalled that when cryptocurrency fell in 2020, many believed it was over. XRP was worth 11 cents. The HBAR was about 1 penny. It was $4,500 for Bitcoin. The price of Ethereum was $90. XDC was trading at pennies on the dollar. It wasn't over yet. You might choose to remain calm during public outbursts by making a plan and following it. Indeed, I do believe that having a strategy now is the best course of action. Now is not the time to make snap decisions. Now is not the time to be overly afraid. Even now, in my opinion, is not a good moment to sell. Actually, I want to make a lot of purchases. In this arena, I'm looking at opportunities that are oversold, particularly utility-based ventures. One of the greatest moments, in my opinion, to keep your eyes on the broad picture is right now. Every bank advises us to exercise caution. We're being warned to be afraid by the mainstream media. Take Kramer is here to tell us about Black Monday. Take a moment to reflect, what are we being forced to eat every cycle in the past? Post about fear, it's all over. The sky is descending, it's going to crash, a recession is practically upon us, this, that, or whatever. We witnessed it back in 2021, we witnessed it back in 2020, we've seen it in previous rounds as well. Now that we're seeing it once more, I'm really positive because I know what will come next. I remarked over here that although the majority won't read it, the writing is on the wall. Jim Cramer warns of a possible crash on Black Monday. He is referring to a decline of more than 20% in a single day. This now supports the notion that I had presented to you all in a prior video. It would be really appreciated if you could go check that out or simply pause the video and read this summary for yourself. But in essence, it describes how pessimistic the major players in the cryptocurrency space are. As I mentioned, it's not just cryptocurrency, stocks are also involved. Once more though, the conditions are favorable for a significant rebound. In addition, we just witnessed a significant update that disrupted Japanese trade. Stop it after the open Nikkei 225 falls 6%. This is absurd since once more, things are beginning to line up. Everyone is in a panic. There is a global meltdown taking place. Everything is being sold. We ought to be in a panic. It's all burning. We sell everything, Leave everything. Once more. Travel back in time. Take a look at these significant occasions. Take a look at how quickly they recovered. According to what we are currently being informed, investor Bill Ackman has warned of an economic nuclear winter. Consider these and the manner in which they are explaining this nuclear winter in the economy, unless tariffs have a time out. Simply put, I find this to be humorous. They are using every catchphrase or important frightening terms they can come up with. To me, the statement economic nuclear winter is simply absurd. And their hand is visible, correct? It displays the hand they are using, which is the manipulation hand. They are aware that this tariff discussion, together with all the surrounding noise, especially the bearish noise, is just that. It simply sounds. You mean all these large accounts like FinanceLot? More than 231,000 followers. A Fibonacci level is currently providing support for the Dow Jones and Russell 2000 futures. The present flash crash is the last wave before starting a new uptrend, according to Elliott wave patterns, which show waves C and 5 that would fit the pattern from 1929. Here is a breakdown of how this would actually appear, and the state of healing in relation to this as well. I do believe that one of the largest flash crashes occurred on Friday. The retail industry as a whole, including major players like Jim Cramer, is now demanding more. They believe there will be additional crashes on Monday, tomorrow, or today, if you will. What if the bottom was already revealed? What if we get back up? As late FOMO shorts are appearing in large numbers, we must always keep an eye on a tilt like this input/call ratios, so suddenly you start to notice a big squeeze approaching. Although it is risky to be long, it will be time to play the squeeze that occurs when this liquidation eventually bounces. Let's check to see if the catalyst is diminished. Once more, there was no catalyst, but this is truly crazy because the volume of stock put options and ETFs has reached all-time highs of 42 million. This is crazy since the upswing and eventual reversal will be historic if we do witness a significant squeeze of these options. No, I'm not trying to sell you guys on this. I'm just stating that if this does occur, the reversal I keep mentioning might occur at any time and that many people might be surprised by how quickly it reverses. It might even occur this week. Furthermore, while considering XRP, Bitcoin, HBAR, and cryptocurrency in general, our primary focus is on Bitcoin and its future prospects. Additionally, Bitcoin recently displayed a death cross on the daily chart. I believe we have already discussed the death cross.